about weather. Rain or shine. When you wake up in the morning, do you look out the window and say, what's the weather like today? Maybe it's cloudy and wet or hot and sunny. The wind might be blowing or perhaps it's freezing cold. Let's talk about so Celeste, what would the weather need to be like if you wanted to use a picnic basket?
It would have to be hot and sunny outside.
Yes, like a summer type weather, right?
Mm-hmm.
Erin, if you wanted to use ice skates, what kind of weather would it need to be?
Cold.
Cold, yeah, and icy, frozen, right? Okay, Jordan, if you wanted to fly a kite, what kind of weather would it need to be?
It needs to be kites.
What kind of weather?
Spring.
How about windy? Yeah, spring is good. Yeah, that's a season though. Look, yeah, season is spring and it needs to be windy, right?
Right.
Okay, so think about it. What is your favorite kind of weather?
Hot and sunny.
What is your favorite kind of weather?
Cold so I can go ice skating.
What's your favorite kind of weather?
Spring.
You like spring?
Yeah.
Awesome. So we wear special clothes for different kinds of weather. We wear waterproof clothes to help keep us dry in the rain, okay? We wear light clothes to keep us cool on a hot day, and we wear thick clothes to keep us warm on a cold day. Try it out at home. Why don't you guys gather some of your clothes together, sort them into clothes to wear on a hot day, clothes for a cold day, and clothes for a wet day. Do you know what they're made of? That's something you guys can do at home with your parents.
Oh, yeah.
Next, we're going to talk about hot and cold. One of the things we want to know when we ask what's the weather like today is how hot or cold it is. We call this the temperature. Hot and cold, freezing, chilly, boiling, and cool are some words we use to describe how the temperatures make us feel. Can you guys think of some more temperature words?
Season!
No. What about cool? Oh, it's already on there. Cool, freezing, chilly, cold.
Chilly! Hot.
Hot.
Breezy.
Hot and boiling. Breezy, I like that one.
Yeah, it's too freezy.
Warm.
Chilly.
Chilly, yeah. Freezing, yeah.
Oh, the snowman.
Okay, so, think about this. What's the weather like during the summer?
It's hot and, yeah, it's hot.
What's the weather like during the winter?
Going to snowman, going ice skating. So
Yeah?
the weather?
Jordan, which season is hot?
It's super, super hot.
What season?
It's summer.
Yeah. And Celeste, what season is cold?
Winter.
Yeah. So we're going to look again at page 7 to find some clothes we might wear in the summer and the winter. Jordan, which clothes do we wear in the summer? Look, which clothes do we wear in the summer?
This one.
No.
No. This one.
Yep. Erin, which clothes do we wear when it's raining? Yeah. Sally, when it's winter? Good.
I'm happy.
You have food coloring, right?
We measure temperature in degrees Fahrenheit or centigrade with a thermometer. When the air temperature drops below 32 degrees, puddles freeze and you may see frost or even snow. It feels very hot when the air temperature rises above 85 degrees. If you have a thermometer at home, hang it outside in the shade and check the temperature daily. And you can decide how the temperature makes you feel and what you need to wear. Now we're going to talk about sunshine. Do you like warm sunny days when there are no clouds and the sky is blue?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
You probably say, what a lovely day when the sun shines. The sun warms the ground and then the heat from the ground warms the air above it. During the night, the ground cools down again. This makes the air cooler in the mornings, even on a sunny day. You should try it with your parents. On a sunny day, go outside and feel the ground. Does it feel warm? Feel the dirt and the stones and the grass and any other different kinds of ground you can find. Which feels the warmest? The weather over many deserts is hot and dry and hardly ever changes. Plants and animals have to live with very little water. Cactus plants keep a store of water in their fleshy stems, and animals come out at night when it is cooler. So what do you think it was hot, very hot and sunny every day here?
Wait,
what do you think about it? If it was hot and sunny every day here?
I would like it, but I would still like to have other temperatures.
What about you?
I would like it, but I would want to go on the boat.
If it was hot every day, would you like it?
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah, but it probably wouldn't rain as much and we wouldn't get any water. Like they were saying, all these plants and animals have to live with very little water.
It's cactus over here.
Yeah, it is.
It's a Venice.
So, on sunny days, wear a hat and sunblock to protect you from the hot rays of the sun. And never look directly at the sun. It's very bad for your eyes. So now we're going to talk about the air. Our planet Earth is surrounded by a layer of air called the atmosphere. The atmosphere protects Earth from the fierce heat and dangerous rays of the sun. The atmosphere also helps keep Earth warm. Clouds and tiny droplets of water in the atmosphere work like a blanket. They help stop warmth from the sun moving back into the space. Out in space, where there is no air, there is no weather. You can't see air, but you can feel it. Wind is moving air. You can feel wind on your skin and blowing your hair. You can feel whether the air is hot or cold. Try it out. Go outside. Can you feel the air moving? Is it moving a lot or a little? And does the air feel hot or does it feel cold? Air is thickest nearer the ground. This is where it moves around and changes the weather, causing clouds, wind, and rain. High above the clouds, the air is thinner. Airplanes often fly in the sunshine high above the clouds, where they are not as likely to be bumped around by rough weather. Wind. When air moves, you can feel it as wind. You can't see the wind, but you can see what it does. The wind moves air from one place to another. Winds from cold places bring cold air, and winds from warm places bring warm air. Wind blows clouds across the sky. Tree branches bend and flags flap in the wind. What else could you see that would tell you it was a windy day?
The trees moving around.
Or trash being blown around.
Trash.
Bushes.
Yeah.
Your hair moving around.
Or leaves falling off trees. Mama, or leaves falling off trees.
Yep. Wind may be gentle or fierce enough to blow down a tree. A scarf blowing in the wind tells you which direction the wind is coming from. Try it out at home. Make some wind chimes to measure the strength of the wind. Cut about 8 fairly wide strips of foil. Thread the string through the end of each strip. Do this at home with a parent. Slightly crumple the foil together and hang the foil strips in a window. They will rustle together gently in a breeze and wave around and rattle noisily in a strong wind. The louder the noise, the stronger the wind. Clouds. When the sun heats up the ground heats the air above it, and warm air rises because it is lighter than cold air. When warm air rises, it cools down in the colder air higher up. As it cools, an invisible gas in the air, called water vapor, turns into droplets of water. These droplets gather together and become a cloud. Mist is really a cloud very near the ground. Walking in the mist is like walking through a cloud. Clouds of different shapes tell us what kind of weather is on the way. Cirrus clouds, floating high in blue skies, warn that the weather is about to change. Giant cumulonimbus clouds bring storms. You can see small white fluffy cumulus clouds in good weather. Low layers of very dark stratus clouds bring rain. Try it out. Look up at the sky and see if you can tell what kind of weather the clouds will bring. Or try it out and watch warm air rise by blowing up a balloon and hanging it above a radiator. The radiator heats the air in and around the balloon. The balloon will float up with the rising warm air and around the radiator. We're going to do an experiment making a fog cloud in a jar. Do this at home with parents. First you need a jar, fill it up a little ways with water. Take the lid off and put it on top upside down. You're going to put, we don't do that yet. You're going to put ice in this top, like this. Put that on there, thank you. Okay, now you can use a match, but we didn't have any matches, so we're going to use just a balled up piece of tissue. Actually, this is a paper towel, and a lighter. So Celeste, can you? We're going to just show this right here. Okay, so what we're going to do first is we're going to light this on fire. We're going to put it in here. And then you're going to put the ice on top. And as you can see, now it might be kind of hard to see on the video. Let's look from this side. You can see the fog building inside of the jar. Now this is going to form its own cloud inside the jar, and in a minute we'll be able to let the cloud out of the jar. So because the warm air rises from the hot, fiery napkin that we put in here, it rises, and the cool air up here cools down in the colder air. So it rises as it cools down up here, higher up. And as it cools, an invisible gas in the air called water vapor turns into droplets of water. And these droplets gather together, and that is what is forming together to become a cloud.
That's a jar.
Release the cloud.
Whoa.
There it is, the foggy cloud.
It's so cool. Is it hot? Oh, it's it is very super hot. It's very cold. This is so cold.
Alright. Rain. Clouds are full of tiny droplets of water or ice crystals. Slowly the droplets or crystals stick together, and they become too big and heavy to stay in the clouds, and they fall to the earth. Any ice melting on the way, it starts to rain. Light rain or drizzle hardly makes you wet. You'll need an umbrella in heavy rain. You have to run for shelter to keep dry in a downpour. Try it out. At home, with a parent's help, you can cut the top off a plastic bottle, turn it upside down, and put it back in the bottle. Mark a strip of cardboard in inches or centimeters and stick it on the side of the bottle. Leave it outside to collect rain. How much is in the bottle after drizzle, and how much after a heavy rain, and how much after a downpour. When the sun comes out after a rainstorm, stand with your back to the sun and you may see a rainbow. Sunlight shining through raindrops splits into 7 colors and makes a rainbow in the sky. Wow. Can you see the 7 colors of the rainbow? Think about it. Water on earth is never lost. It goes around and around. Water falls to the earth from the clouds as rain, and as the sun heats the water on the earth, it becomes vapor in the air and rises up to form clouds again.